I developed my fear of flying as I got older. FOF, as I call it. Every time before I fly, without fail, I get anxiety. A nervousness plunges my body into total collapse. It's like an evil supervillain zapped me with an energy ball that affects everything. I'm not my usual confident self. Instead, I'm queasy, and my stomach feels ill. Unfortunately, I have to fly a lot. When I was younger, I was about to board my first ever plane when this old gypsy woman stood up and screamed out, "I've seen the future. If you get on this plane, you're going to die." She was taken away by security, but left those of us boarding with such an intense fear. I was 6 and with my mom at the time, so I didn't have a choice. She didn't believe in mediums or psychics, and she made me get on that plane anyway. I spent the whole flight terrified, looking out the window, feeling that every time the plane shook, it was going to be the end. Someone once looked at me in shock when I told them I have a fear of flying. They couldn't understand it. While most people know planes crash, not so many are aware of the constant and frequent near misses. About half the crashes are due to pilot or air traffic control error. The deadliest crash in the world was in Tenerife, an island off Spain. A plane had flown for hours from New York and landed. It was foggy, and another aircraft attempted to make a takeoff, not realizing the runway wasn't clear. The result was that 583 people died. Most know that the first 5 minutes of takeoff and the 5 minutes before landing are the deadliest. Why? It's because a human is involved. After that, most planes switch to autopilot. I hate flying at night, or when it's pouring with rain and you can't see anything through the window. You're in a tube and so high up in the sky that really, if anything does go wrong, there's little you can do about it. After plane disasters, you hear of officials looking for the aircraft's black box. The black box is the plane's flight recorder that is built to withstand even explosions. People ask why planes can't be built of that same material, titanium, that black boxes are made of. The simple answer is that it would be too heavy to fly. Disappearances scare me too. Planes have vanished from the sky for a long time, often without any trace. In 2014, a Malaysian plane went missing, with 239 people on board. The most notorious spot for disappearances is over the Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle. That's one area I hate flying over. It's not only planes, of course, but boats too, that have entirely vanished. Before I fly and my nerves set in, I usually race to the bathroom. The longest I ever stayed looking at myself in the mirror was 2 hours. I think that's an additional fear of mine, being in a bathroom in the plane and having the plane go down. I imagine myself in there, constantly turned upside down, with the water rushing out of the toilet. I often need to tell myself that the plane isn't going to crash. That's what I say under my breath every time I board a plane. This plane isn't going to crash. This plane isn't going to crash. This plane isn't going to crash. I know my saying it won't truly make any difference, but I do it anyway. I don't like drinking alcohol, but it does help. Right now, as I'm on the way to the airport, I know I've already had too much, as this page is spinning, but I can't help drinking. I've never liked the taste of alcohol, but about a year ago, I thought just having a quick one would take off the edge. That one increased in size quickly, so now I average around 8 before any flight. I take mints with me everywhere, as they'll kick you off a plane if they think you're drunk. I would say I've flown only about 15 flights where I can't remember how I even got to the plane or how I got to my destination. There have been about 10 times when I started drinking and then woke up in a foreign country. My heart is beating really fast again. I just went through security and I'm heading towards the gate. I went to the bathroom, had a few more shots. I just stood and I can't walk very well. I'm flying today from New York to Los Angeles. It's only 5 hours, about 300 passengers, a mix of tourists, families, and randoms. If I can get onto the plane after the first 5 minutes, I should be okay. The plane isn't going to crash. It's not going to crash. Please don't crash. I took about 10 minutes and made it into the cockpit first. I have to go now, as the plane won't fly itself, at least until we're on autopilot. God, I hope I can make it until then.